Alrighty folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Talks Games, and today we're talking about Xbox support on the Switch 2. We have a new rumor suggesting that not only will Flight Sim be coming to the Switch 2 and PS5 in 2025, but also rumblings that the Halo Master Chief Collection will also be making its way to the Nintendo Switch and PS5 in 2025, which is absolutely crazy. And while we're kind of getting used to this whole idea of Xbox being a multi-platform publisher, but them going headfirst with a port of Flight Sim, which is very popular. Flight Sim, maybe not in our sphere, is the most popular game, but it is a very popular game. And then especially Halo the Master Chief Collection, which is like the Xbox IP, to bring those to other platforms is pretty surprising. So we're going to go over this new rumor today, and then we will also just kind of go over what other Xbox published games we could potentially see come to the Switch 2 in 2025 and beyond. Let's get into it. Okay, so yeah, the Switch 2 train is not stopping anytime soon. It seems like we are getting closer and closer to the reveal. I think I will have another video later today talking about just when we can maybe expect that reveal, but also some rumblings of potentially it happening next week despite Donkey Kong releasing. But today I want to focus on this new rumor from Nate the Hates and then kind of talk broader about Xbox support on the Switch 2 in 2025 and beyond. So initially it started when Nate the Hate posted his podcast over on YouTube. I'll have that link down below. Definitely worth a listen. I always enjoy listening to Nate's podcast. He had some information to share regarding what he's heard in 2025 for Xbox. He said, quotes, "So games that I have heard that will be released multi-platform in 2025 beyond the obvious include Flight Simulator will come to PlayStation 5 and Switch 2, and Halo the Master Chief Collection will be coming to PS5 and Switch 2 as well." Nate the Hate was the one back in the beginning of 2024, maybe even late 2023, who was initially reporting like, hey, Xbox is going to start bringing these games to more platforms. I forget what the initial batch was. Maybe it was Hi-Fi Rush. Maybe it was Sea of Thieves is what he reported. And of course, that all ended up being true. That entire spiral that happened last year where Xbox had to do that impromptu little podcast update saying, yeah, we're bringing 4 games to a PlayStation and Switch. That kind of all started from a Nate the Hate rumor. So I definitely trust this guy when it comes to his Xbox sources. And he's saying that Flight Sim and Halo are coming to both PS5 and Switch 2 this year. Flight Sim isn't that surprising in that, yeah, it's a simulator game. You kind of want to have that on as many platforms as possible. Frankly, I'm surprised it's not already on PS5. That feels like something that should have been multi-plat day one. I will be curious to see how that runs on Switch 2, because even if the Switch 2, let's say it's like PS4 Pro power level, or even closer to Series S, and to be fair, Flight Sim is on Series S, but Flight Sim is a very demanding game. That is a very, very technically demanding game, so I'll be curious to see how that runs on Nintendo's next handheld. And then the Halo Master Chief Collection, I mean, that is really the all bets are off moments for Xbox in terms of just, you're a multi-platform publisher. I would expect everything to come day and date at a certain point. If we're doing Halo, that means we're doing Forza and Gears. That's your burger, shake, and fries of Xbox. To put those on to other platforms, you are officially waving the red flag, so to speak. Of course, it will be very good for them. They will make so much money selling Halo. I will buy it on PlayStation 5 and Switch 2, probably just to have. I want Halo on every platform, man. I don't have a Series X right now. I did sell my Series X. So if this is true, having the Halo Master Chief Collection on Switch 2 and PS5 is going to be absolutely awesome. I know Sea of Thieves was like a #1 charter on PSN for a while there. I think it still might be. I think it sold really, really well on the PS5. And that's actually another one that I could totally see coming to Switch 2. He didn't mention it, I don't believe, in the podcast, but Sea of Thieves, considering how well that did on PS5, it couldn't run on Switch most likely, so I think Sea of Thieves is a lock. Maybe not this year necessarily, but Sea of Thieves will come to the Switch 2 at some point. I would be flabbergasted if that did not happen. There were rumors a few months ago about Halo Studios, as we now know them, formerly 343. There were rumors that they were going to remake the original Halo from the original Xbox, of course, and then bring that over to PS5. I wonder if those plans have changed, or maybe if they're still doing that, we'll get Halo Master Chief Collection now, and then get the Halo remake later. And then there's also this new project on this new engine they're working on. Would we see Halo 5 or Infinite come over? Infinite, I'm not too tuned into Halo Infinite. I'm not sure how the content rollout is going for that game. I don't really see people talk about it, though, which tells me, I'm not going to say it's a dead game. I frankly don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you play Halo Infinite, but is it worth it to them to even bother porting Halo Infinite to Switch 2 and PS5? I kind of doubt it, especially when Halo Master Chief Collection is such a slam dunk. I mean, you put that out, even if Halo Infinite is, let's say, better, let's say it's a better game, it plays better, has more content coming out, people are going to play the original Halo games, so I'll be curious to see what MCC coming over means for other Halo entries, especially when we move into the future. Like, do we see Halo, I guess it'd be 7, would Halo 7 be a day-and-date title on every platform? That's very exciting. But we also had this. So Gamer Up on Twitter posted this tweet saying, talking about what Nathan Haight said in his podcast, and Jez Corden from Windows Central just replied to it saying way more than that. So saying way more than Flight Simulator and Halo Collection are coming to, he didn't specify Switch 2 or PS5. I think it just generally speaking, I think we can kind of assume if a game is coming to PS5 from Xbox, it will probably come to Switch 2 as well. Xbox has been supporting Nintendo a lot, even with the current Switch. We got Grounded, we got Pentiment. So I think it's safe to take this comment to mean like, okay, it's going to be both PlayStation and Switch 2 support from here on out. And that's what I want to talk about for the rest of this video. Like, what else could we see from Xbox on Switch 2? Xbox, despite their couple of past, I would say, rough years of not having the greatest games, they have an insane slate of games lined up for 2025 and beyond. And if we could see most of these come over to the Switch 2, I mean, oh my goodness, there's so much exciting stuff coming over. So we're literally just going to go on to Wikipedia here, look at a list of Xbox games and kind of talk about each one, like whether or not we could see this coming over. We will start, I'll say, we'll start with the Series X generation. I think that's fair. The Switch already has a few things here. We already have the Ori games. Bleeding Edge is a dying game. Gears Tactics is that one. You know, I think Gears as a franchise is I think Gears is almost a given. I'm surprised we never got like a proper remake collection of those games. I know they remastered the first Gears on Xbox One way back, but we never got like a proper Gears Marcus Phoenix collection. I think we could still see that maybe come to, of course, Series X, but also PlayStation 5 and Switch 2. Get those games on everything. Battletoads is one I'd be curious about. Will they ever go back to that? That was made by the team that made that Disney Illusion Island game, which was a timed exclusive for Switch for a while. I always wanted to play that Battletoads game. I'm not sure if they would care enough to go back to it. Gears 5, I mean, yeah, Gears, I think, across the board will come over. Sea of Thieves is another one. State of Decay 2, and I guess by extension 3. State of Decay 2, I know for a while there, even after 3 was announced, we were getting updates for State of Decay 2. I wonder if that's something they would, you know, pursue and like kind of get out there. Depending on when State of Decay 3 comes out, we don't have a release window for that. I would guess it's next year. So maybe we see a State of Decay 2 port pretty early on, just kind of get it on there. This is an exciting one for me. I have not played this game. I've heard it's incredible. Psychonauts 2. This game did not come to Switch. It's already on PlayStation 4, but it never came to Switch, and I would love to see a Switch 2 version of Psychonauts 2, but also Psychonauts 1. Why not put it on there from Double Fine? Psychonauts 2, I think that was nominated for GOTY back in 2021, so yeah, I'd be really hyped to see Psychonauts 2 come over. Both types of Forza game, I think, would make a great candidate, especially Horizon. Horizon really seems to be like the fan favorite. Now, would they go back and do Horizon 5, or would they just wait until... I mean, probably either, would it be this year or next year we end up getting Horizon 6? I know Playground is doing the Fable game, which we'll talk about. I think they probably just wait to do Horizon 6 on everything. But also, I think there were rumors that Horizon 5 was, like, ready for PS5, and they were just sitting on it. So, Forza Horizon, in some fashion, I imagine, will come to every platform. And then Forza Motorsports, I feel like that new one didn't really make much of a spark. Do they bother porting that? They didn't give that one a number. It makes me feel like Forza Motorsport, what they released back in 2022, I want to say, like that almost feels like it's more of just a platform moving forward, and they're not going to be releasing new entries. I could be off base with that, but maybe we don't see Motorsport come over. Halo Infinite we talked about, Grounded already on a Switch, although I wonder, do we get a Switch 2 port of that? I think that's actually probable, because Grounded does not look too good on the current Switch, and that's a pretty popular game. I actually quite enjoy Grounded when I played it a couple years back when it was in early access. So I'd be down for a Switch 2 port of Grounded. Hellblade 2 is one that might not seem as obvious, but if you remember, Ninja Theory brought Hellblade 1 to the Switch back in like 2021. It was a very weird late port. No one expected it. Obviously, Hellblade is a very graphically intensive, beautiful game. And Hellblade 2 came out earlier this year, exclusive to Xbox and PC. No physical copies to be found. Did not seem to really do much for Ninja Theory or Xbox, but considering Hellblade 1 is on Switch, and of course it's also on PlayStation 4, I think Hellblade 2, you want to recoup a little bit of that money, you put that on PS5, you put that on Switch 2 pretty early, I imagine. And I think that's one of those things, to get into my collector speak here for my It's Amiibo viewers. Hellblade 2, that seems like a limited run kind of thing, right? Because there's no physical even for Xbox, so I think we get Hellblade 2 on PS5, Switch 2, and then we get a physical across all three platforms. And then we start getting into 2025 and beyond. We'll talk about Bethesda in just a second, but on February 18th, we have Avowed coming out, currently not announced for PlayStation. I think Avowed... Maybe this will depend on how this game reviews. It's Obsidian. Obsidian doesn't really miss. Maybe their games are like low 80s, but that's still like pretty great. I think Avowed, at the very least, you see that come to PlayStation. But I think it would really depend on like the community interest in a Switch 2 port. But I think Avowed's probably going to be pretty well liked. So I think Avowed could happen. Fable, this one feels a little bit bigger. I feel, you know, I don't know. it's weird because Xbox has the Series S, which is obviously gonna have these games running at lower specs. So at that point, like, how much effort is it really to get it running on Switch 2? We don't know the exact, struggle that will be. But if Fable, I think Fable, at the very least, Fable will come to PS5. I don't know if it'll come to Switch 2, though. South of Midnight, this is one that, like, this is from Compulsion, the people that did We Happy Few. Do they even care enough to bring this over to other platforms? Probably. I mean, they put Pentiment on everything. Not try to slight these games. It's just, like, I don't really see people talking about Pentiment or South of Midnight, right? So we'll have to wait and see how South of Midnight reviews. That does not currently have a date. Outer Worlds 2, this is one that I think for sure will happen, and that's why I'm saying with Avowed, like, if we're going to get Outer Worlds 2, we'll probably get Avowed just because Obsidian's already working on Switch 2 stuff, but Outer Worlds 1 came to the Switch 1. So if Outer Worlds 2 is coming to PS5, which we already know later this year, I think it stands to reason we could see a Switch 2 version of that game. Once again, also running on Series S. Wouldn't probably be too bad to get that running on the Switch 2. Clockwork Revolution from An Exile Entertainment. We don't know too much about this one. This was announced, I think, 2 years ago. We'll have to wait and see there. Everwild from Rare. Gears of War E-Day. I mean, that's one of those things. If we're getting the Gears collection or something, then yeah, you probably see Gears E-Day, at least on PS5. Perfect Dark. That'd be kind of a cool full circle moment, man. Like, what if we got Perfect Dark, the new Perfect Dark, on a Nintendo platform? That'd be cool, full circle moment from the N64 all the way back. Maybe, I mean, this is older, but what if we did get a proper version of Rare Replay? I know a lot of people have talked about that. I just question that because wouldn't that be like a lot of work, right? Because the way it works on Xbox One is that they're running through the Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. They would have to port all those games to Switch 2, right? And PS5 if they were to do that. But that'd be really cool. You get Perfect Dark Zero in there. You get all the Viva Pinata games. You get Nuts and Bolts and just a ton of other great Rare games. Rare Replay, I think, is going to be... I'm going to see a lot of comments in this video saying, like, oh, I want Rare Replay on Switch 2. I mean, we already have Banjo, and I think Banjo-Tooie is on Switch Online. Maybe we get like a Rare Replay Ultimate where they put the GBA Banjo games on there, some of the other things. I mean, I know GoldenEye got added to it, so yeah, Rare Replay would be really cool. I'm just worried about like Cameo and all these Xbox 360 games. Could they do that on other platforms? And then yeah, that's kind of all we have announced right now. There's a lot of rumors about Oblivion remastered, which are a remake, which we can kind of lead into our little Bethesda discussion here. Oblivion remake's coming to Switch 2. I have it on good authority that Oblivion remake is coming to Switch 2. So make of that what you will. But I truly believe that we will be getting that. I've heard it's this year, but we'll see there. And then older Bethesda stuff. I mean, Indiana Jones just came out, coming to PS5 this spring. I think Indy, that's a great family-friendly game. You're gonna get Indiana Jones on the Switch too. And I think that maybe is part of the reason we don't have a date for Indy yet on the PS5, is maybe they're waiting to see when Nintendo makes their move. Because right now it's just later for spring. So yeah, Indy, I think you see come over. That was obviously a very critically acclaimed game last year. Doom: The Dark Ages coming out this year. Very, very excited for that. I mean, we have Doom 2016 and Eternal on Switch 2, or on Switch 1, I should say. So Dark Ages, I think, is a no-brainer. And then going back further, there was actually this rumor yesterday from Imran Khan talking about how Pete Hines, the former, I believe he was the CEO of Bethesda, or he was very high up at Bethesda. I forget his exact role, but he basically told Game Informer at one point that Fallout 4 was coming to the Switch, but it never materialized. I remember there being rumors of Fallout 4 happening way back when Fallout Shelter came to Switch in I want to say 2017, 2018, and obviously that never happened, but Pete Hines told Game Informer that it was going to happen, and then it just never shaped up. So I think you're going to see a lot of those open world Bethesda RPGs. You're probably going to see ports of Fallout 4. If we ever get a Fallout 3 or New Vegas remaster, it would happen around that time too when it comes to Series X and PS5. Starfield is one that is still waiting to come over to PS5. I mean, why not, man? Xbox is going all in on this third-party approach. I really think you're going to see most of these games come over, which is really exciting because while Xbox hasn't had the strongest footing in the console space in terms of selling as many units as PlayStation, the reality is they've released a lot of really high quality games over the past couple of years. So for more people to have access to these in the future is just really exciting. So yeah, Fallout 4 you can see happen. I think that actually Fallout 4 just came to PS5, didn't it? And Series X natively last year around the time the show came out. So Fallout 4, Starfield, Oblivion remake we mentioned, Doom. There's not much else from Bethesda that I could really see happening, at least in the near future in terms of older games. I mean, Redfall, they're not going to do Redfall. Tango Gameworks is owned by NetEase now, I believe. So Hi-Fi Rush, I'm not sure. Does Xbox own Ghostwire Tokyo? Maybe we see Ghostwire come over, Evil Within even. Depends on how crazy they want to get with it. I don't think they'll go back that far, though. I think we'll mostly see the past couple of years, this current generation of like Series S and X games coming to the Switch 2 and PS5, and that is very, very exciting. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of all of these Xbox games making their jump to the PS5 and Switch 2, presumably starting in 2025? I mean, we have Nate the Hate saying Halo and Flight Sim this year. We have Jez Corden from Windows Central, who is a very reliable Xbox source. He's saying way more is coming than that. We'll have to wait and see, but I think it's gonna be an interesting few months. I mean, I think even in the Switch 2 reveal event, we could see a pretty notable presence from Microsoft and Xbox, and of course Bethesda, and that's gonna be weird to see. But I mean, this is the reality we live in now. All these games are coming over. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think? What games do you want to see come over from the Xbox to Switch 2? And of course, subscribe here for more Switch 2 speculation, theories, discussion. Follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames, and check out my Nintendo collecting channel at It's Amiibo. Until next time, folks. Peace.